I'm going to be talking about my learnings from the AWS Solutions Architect Associate certification. This was a bit more of an abstract and less technical certification, so I made some diagrams to help me internalize how all the systems work, and I'm going to be showing you those today. So this is an AWS service architecture diagram. So this starts with users coming in through the internet and they're passed through the Elastic Load Balancer. The Elastic Load Balancer points them to a specific server, depending on where they are and what is best. This is also closely related to the auto scaling group, which makes sure there are enough of these servers running at any given time for the traffic coming in. Then the EC2 is a specific type of server that you can use in AWS, and they pull data from the RDS database. And the multi availability zone RDS is essentially a way to split up and only store what you need for each individual region on these databases. This is an AWS CloudFront S3 delivery diagram. So S3 is a type of database that you can use in the AWS application system. And so content like images, videos, CSS, and JavaScript styles are passed through the origin access identity system, which is for security and essentially makes sure that people from the internet can't get into your servers or your databases, and only your CloudFront distribution can. CloudFront distribution is a system by AWS that helps you deliver the content globally and caches what it can in certain locations to reduce load times. And then finally, there's the Route 53 DNS configuration, which ties the URL to your content distribution system. And finally, the content is directed to the clients on the internet. Next, we have an AWS pipeline diagram. So this is showing the general process of updating or deploying code to these servers and databases. The code is committed by the developers, the source code, and then they use a system called code build to actually prepare and optimize the code to be deployed. And there's a lot of testing that goes on using this system to make sure that it's going to be up to the needs of what the server is going to require. Then there's manual approval, usually by a QA engineer or a developer, to make sure everything looks good. Finally, they use a system called code deploy to actually deploy the code to the servers and databases, and then test and monitor it afterwards as well. This is a cost optimization comparison chart. So this is a tool that they pointed out in a lot of the tutorials to sort of compare both the price and the capabilities of different options for different aspects of your system. Like, as you can see over here, we have storage, data transfer, the server type, the database type, different things like that. And it's a good way to visualize it and compare side by side right in front of you. This is an Amazon IAM role and a policy authentication diagram. So this just shows that users, being the employees or the developers in this case, can be assigned to different roles. And then based on what you assign different policies to these roles in AWS, they are allowed to do different things when they sign into the account and go into the database and server management system. And so I actually did a lab around this from Pluralsight, where I made 5 different groups here, as you can see, and then I assigned some people to these groups, and then I assigned policies to these groups in order to let them do certain things depending on what their job required. I thought this applied a lot to the web design class that we had taken. If we had created a more capable website and had more traffic coming to it, we would need a system just like this to handle all of that, to spin up and spool down servers. I think the value of an IS miner is very high, and I feel like I'm well equipped to work in a field like this in the future.